I mean, at this point, they'd probably retreat. Oh, but they have both hit him for a total of... Oh, this is getting close. 30 damage. Oh. Greetings, fellow Mist Wanderers. My name is Steve Morgan, and this is DM of the Mists, covering all things Curse of Strahd and Ravenloft. Got a bit of a different, weird video for you today. So this was going to be a video I did over Christmas when I thought, I can probably get away with something a bit different, something a bit weird. But I was ill over Christmas and ended up delaying this. But I did get it all ready, so I still wanted to do it. So this is very different to what I usually put out if this is the first video of mine you've seen. Before I get into this, there is spoilers for Vecna Eve of Ruin and the main Dragonlance 5th edition campaign in this, if that bothers you. I feel like I need to start this video with a bit of context. It might be useful. So, I read a bunch of the Ravenloft novels. I did a whole video about it, but I didn't fully read one called Spectre of the Black Rose. It's the second novel that features Lord Soth, the Death Knight from the Dragonlance setting who, in the old Ravenloft novels, gets pulled into Ravenloft, and there's 2 Ravenloft novels that he features in as well. But I decided after doing that video that I would reread it, and I ended up finishing it, and I ended up enjoying it. And about a third of the way into the book, there is a battle between Lord Soth and the forces of Invidia, who are led by Malaccio, is that how that's pronounced? Malaccio Adair, who is the Dark Lord of Invidia. This was back in the days when domains were bordered. So Soth could stand at the edge of Sithicus, and Malaccio could stand at the edge of Invidia, and they can have a chat, but they can't enter each other's realms, which is quite cool. In 5th edition, it's different. Everything is like an isolated pocket, so you lose that aspect. You can't have Soth and Malaccio just shouting at each other, which is a shame. So in the scene, they have a bit of a chat, and then the Invidia forces include 24 ogres. Well, there's actually 25, but I think one gets killed by another NPC. And this got me thinking, could the 5th edition version of Lord Soth beat the 5th edition versions of 24 ogres? And if not, how many could he take down before he's taken down himself? I want you to, at this point, think about how many you think it'll be. Would he take out all 24? Would he take out less? And then let me know in the comments if your prediction was correct. Bearing in mind there's going to be I'm going to explain some of the rules and some of the changes I've made, which may affect that number. So just think about the number either now or before the battle starts. Yes, I know the novels are different. It's a story. Turning this into some sort of like, oh, but could he really, due to dice rolls, be defeated or defeat them all? I know. Consider this like a curiosity or a thought experiment. Don't take it too seriously, please. And of course, I'm using 5th edition rules. The novel was written in 2nd edition days, so it'd be interesting to know if the 2nd edition Lord Soth versus 2nd edition Ogres would be different or similar. And then, of course, there's issues with action economy, with the fact that there's 1 Soth and 24 enemies. So I'm going to talk about the setup of the battle next. In the novel, Soth's not alone. He's with a Vistana, one of the Vistani, and her pet dog, who is quite a vicious little dude. It reminds me of like a wolf, essentially. And later there are banshees, and I quote, on chariots of bone drawn by wyverns. That is so cool. They attack as well, at which point the Invidia forces retreat, including any remaining ogres. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to do Soth versus ogres. The novel does mention there's also human Invidian soldiers. I think they're archers. Not going to do that. Just Soth versus ogres. And the book says that there's 1 dozen on the Invidia side, and then the second dozen, if you will, cross the river and then fight from the Sithicus side. So you've got 12 on either side of the bridge. And for the map, I'm using a map by DM Andy, well-known map maker, especially for Curse of Strahd. I think he's done some Ravenloft maps as well. It's called the Waterfall River and Bridge, the Gloom variant. Let's talk about the rules of how this is going to play out. I know, I'm talking about all the sexy, exciting stuff before I get to the actually exciting stuff. I know it's boring. The stat block I'm using is Lord Soth as he appears in the Dragonlance campaign book and in Vecna Eve of Ruin. I believe it's identical in both. I don't actually own it on D&D Beyond, I just own the physical books. So I'm going to do a combination of rolling manually and using Roll20 macros. Otherwise, if you don't have access to it and you want to do something similar, or you want to include Lord Soth in your campaign, consider the Death Knight from the Monster Manual. One thing that really surprised me, given that he's such a, formidable dude, is he doesn't have any damage resistances, and he doesn't have HP regeneration. So that's really surprising. So when I first came up with the idea of this video, I was like, yeah, it'll be a breeze. But then when I saw that, I was like, actually, ogres then could, because if you can't recover health, and the ogres are constantly hitting him, it could actually be a close battle. I'm going to play it that he's already used his Word of Death, which is a bit like Power Word Kill, before the battle, which is what happens in the events of the novel. He does it on like some sort of diplomat or somebody who's reading something to him, and he casts it on that individual, not on an ogre. And when the battle starts in the novel, he uses his Cataclysmic Fire ability, which is a bit like the Fireball spell, but does fire and necrotic damage. That's going to be his first move on a whole group of ogres. I'm also going to have it that he uses his legendary actions, but I'm probably just going to roll initiative for Soth and just the ogres, rather than rolling initiative like 24 times. That'd be ridiculous. But what I'll say is that Soth would potentially, if I had rolled multiple initiatives to the ogres, he would have attacked multiple times, and therefore legendary actions, I'll do all legendary actions even though the ogres only have one turn. So it's basically going to be ogre's turn, Soth's legendary actions, Soth's turn, ogre's turn, and so on. For the ogres, I'm going to use the 5.5e 2024 edition because they have slightly more HP. I did think about using the original 2014 ones, but then I thought, oh, I'd be wondering then, how he would have fared against the ones that have more HP. This might be a controversial move. I'm not going to give them any ranged attacks, so they've got no spears. In the novel, it says they just use their clubs to attack. So I'm just going to say that they've only got the clubs. So that means only a few can attack him at a time, because only a few can get around him at a time. And I didn't want to really roll 24 ranged attacks every single time they attack. Not because that's the sort of admin hassle of it, if you will, but also I don't think Strahd would survive that very long. For their armor, it says they have hide armor. It's said in the book that a few wore rusted, poorly fitting chainmail. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep their AC the same. Similar to the Revenants in Curse of Strahd, they are wearing chainmail, but it's so badly maintained and rusted, it's considered leather armor. So for the ones that do have poorly fitting rusted chainmail, it's probably the equivalent of hide. Not bothering with flanking rules, which is optional anyway. And for any other rules, I am just going to use the 2014 rules because I'm more familiar with them than 2024. And with that, on with the battle. Okay, and here we are in Roll20. As you can see, we've got our boy Soth on the bridge. And there's, if I pan down, there's a dozen ogres on the north side and a dozen ogres on the south. Beautiful. So, first thing I'm going to do is roll initiative. The ogre's got a 14. Soth has a... Oh, it's a straight roll. Soth's going first. Beautiful. Okay, and as I said in the intro, he's going to kick things off with Cataclysmic Fire. I'm loving this already. So if he throws it right in the middle, I mean, he's going to get all of them. So I've got to roll 12 dex saving throws. And in fact, because these dudes, they've got to be 19, and because these dudes have a -1, the only way anyone's going to survive this is if they get a natural 20. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9th ogre passes. That's this one. I'm going to put a little green dot on him because he survived. And then that is 10d6 fire damage and 10d6 necrotic. Oh, I did it that way because I thought it might separate the numbers, but it's a total, oh my god, a total of 80. So any of them with less than 80 HP, which is all of them. Oh, the one, ironically, the one that passed is the one who's got the most HP. He's got more than 80, but the next highest had 80. So all but one of them have been killed. So that one takes 40. And I'm probably going to either skip ahead or... What's the word I'm looking for? Skip ahead or fast forward. And then what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to move them out of the way. They're not literally. Yeah. Good way for us to kind of count how many have been taken out. So that's 11 out of 12. That's almost half of them are defeated already. So great start. Okay, it's the ogre's turn. So remind myself how far ogres walk. 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I'm assuming the rest can all... make it there within 40 feet. Now, as I said in the intro to this video, whoops, none of these folks have spears, so they can only club Soth. The 3 of them can attack him. His AC is 18. He's wearing plate mail. So, great club, great club, great club. Oh, wow. All 3 attacks hit. And our boy takes 13 bludgeoning. 13 bludgeoning. 13 bludgeoning. So he's already taken a bit of a chunk of HP there. But now it's his legendary actions and it's his turn. So his legendary actions, he can do one where he moves up to his speed. Doesn't trigger any opportunity attacks. And if he moves within 5 feet of a creature during his movement, he can force the creature to make a strength saving throw or knock them prone. So I think it makes sense that he would do that because a strike, so a sword attack, takes 2. So he could do this implacable maneuver, and then if he knocks the target prone, he can hit them with advantage then. So I'm going to say he shifts here, and he's going to target the one to the north who's already injured. That dude's going to roll a strength saving throw, and they fail. They are prone. I use this symbol for prone. I don't know if other Roll20 people do. And then can attack a Forsaken Brand attack, but it'll be with advantage. Oh, it's only a 15. But now that his to hit bonus, this is like the opposite of the fireball type attack I did earlier. His attack to hit bonus means even on a natural 1, he gets like a 13, and these dudes have an AC of 11. So as long as he doesn't get a natural 1, he will hit them. So he hits this dude for a total of 32, mix of slashing and necrotic damage. And on his turn, normally he can do 3 sword attacks, so he's going to do another one with advantage. That's a 30. That's a 25 to hit and 32, so this one's now dead. And he's going to turn around and target this one twice, but they'll be regular attacks. So a 25 to hit for 29 slashing damage, but bludgeoning damage. Forsaken Brand, bludgeoning, that can't be right. I'll have to consult the book later. I would have thought it'd be slashing damage. He's hitting them with a sword, right? But anyway, yeah, it's basically weapon damage plus a chunk of necrotic damage on top. So that's 29, 21. I'll leave him on the bridge now. When they start like piling up, I'll then move them over here. Ogres turns again. This one's probably going to go around. I will move this one now. 5, 10, 15, 20. All of these will fill that gap. And then only two can hit him this time because of the way he's positioned. I mean, there's probably the argument that one of them could probably do that, but I'm just, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say that you can't quite reach him. But he's probably going to do that maneuver he did before and move to there, and then you can have 3 of them attack him again. Both hits. Ooh, he's taking a bit of a beating here. I thought a few of them would have missed. 10 and whoops, 15. Okay, so he's already lost about 60 HP and he's got 160 total. So this is getting interesting. He's going to do that maneuver again. He's going to target probably the one to the south of him. Makes sense to try and finish off the one that he's already targeting. He fails. He's knocked prone. And then he gets an attack with advantage. That is the helicopter flying above me. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. 26, so this one's dead now as well. And I'll move that one over here. Then he can attack 3 times. And he's going to just keep hitting the one at the north and then the one at the east if he kills the one at the north. That first one is a 28 to hit, 37. Man, this dude hits hard. This next attack will probably finish off that ogre to the north. Yes, it does. For 22. And then the one to the east of him, an 18 for 38. Okay. Ogre's turns again. This one could probably... Are they going to be bright enough to circle around? I'm going to say yes. They need all the help they can get at this point. 3 can attack him. They're only going to miss this time. Oh, 1 missed. 1 hit. 1 hit. So that's another 12. And then another 16. Okay. He's down to nearly half HP now. So he's going to do that thing where he knocks him over again. The one to the north of him is prone. Gets advantage on... And this is all the legendary action stuff. That hits, dealing 23. Dude's got 1 HP left. So he'll hit it again, and then he's got 2 more attacks. A 30 to hit and 28, so that one's dead as well. And then we'll probably move to the one to the east. He's not done a natural 20 yet. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, so I rolled those with advantage. So the first one would have been a 18 to hit anyway, and that was 31. But the second one would have actually been a natural 1, so that one didn't hit. All the Soth purists are like, Soth doesn't miss. How dare you say such blasphemy? Ogres turns. Only 2 attacking this time. Both hit. 7 and 8 bludgeoning damage. Soth just does the same thing again. It's getting a bit monotonous, I guess, but I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too. So the strength save, it failed. Even got an 18, it needs a 20 to pass. They do have a +4 to strength, so there is a small chance they could pass. That one's not prone. And then he can do his legendary action attack with advantage. 30, so 34. Oh, I had 33 HP left. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, he would have gone there then this time. Then he's going to attack the one to the east twice. Still no natural 20. So 15 to hit, dealing 25 damage. And 21 hits, dealing 35. Ogre's turns. 3 more attacks. Miss. Natural 1. Okay, this is... up until now, they were pretty much hitting almost every time. And now they're in trouble, because they missed all 3 of their attacks there. His legendary action stuff. Fails the saving throw. I'm not going to bother putting the prone symbol on him, because he'll probably be dead with this attack. Yes, he is. Okay, how many would left? So there's 7 left now. And then Soth will probably willingly move here now and attack the one to the east 3 times. And then the one to the south if it's defeated. So 23 to hit and then 33 damage. Oh, this dude's got like over 80 HP. That is a 13, but that still hits. 29 damage. How has he not rolled a natural 20? Oh, and that was a natural 1. They move again. And 3 more attacks. All of them missed. 11, 11, and another natural 1. Failed the strength save, so the one to the north has been knocked prone. Still not rolled a natural 20, even with advantage. It's just nuts. Dude's not being very lucky. But lucky in the sense that he's been able to kill ogres pretty well, but not like any sort of crazy critical hits or anything. So that is 29, so that one's defeated. Oh, that would have put him over there, but then he'll move back. I think I'll just always do that. Work on that basis. He doesn't mind if 3 ogres attack him instead of 1. Instead of 2, I mean. And then 2 regular attacks. A 28 hits for 26. And a 15 hits for 29. That one's nearly killed in just 2 hits. 5 left. No, 6 left. I can't count. 3 more attacks. Miss, hit, miss. So he takes another 11 bludgeoning. Is he down to half HP yet? I think he is. Yes, he's less than half HP now. He'll do the whole knock the person prone. And they passed for once. And that one is finished off. 5 left. And then twice to the right. 26 to hit for 25 damage and a 19 to hit for 34. That one's nearly dead. They keep moving to their other ogre friends and keep attacking. 3 more attacks. 2 of them hit for a total of 20 bludgeoning damage. Soth is now below 100 HP, but I think he's going to survive this. Then he will do the strength saving throw thing again. He's knocked the one north of him prone. That one's dead. And then twice to the right. Is he going to finish this off with a natural 20 at any point? No, a 15. He's rolling really low, actually. It's a good thing he has that plus 12 to hit, because he rolled a 3 and a 5. So he got 15 and 17 for 36 damage and 25. Oh, 4 left. 2 misses and a hit for 13 bludgeoning damage. I don't think they're getting any. I don't think any of them have gotten natural 20s yet as well. This is wild. I don't think we've had a single natural 20 from either Soth or the ogres. Let's hope there's one before the battle ends. He will do the not prone thing yet again. Fail. 3 to go. And then attack the one to the right twice. No, 3 times. Because that was the legendary action, wasn't it? I bet in all of this I've missed, like, not done 3 attacks. I've done 2 or something because of the whole confusion with the legendary action. So 31 hits for 31. 27 hits for 19. And a 28 hits for 30. 2 left. I mean, at this point, they'd probably retreat. Oh, but they have both hit him for a total of... Oh, this is getting close. 30 damage. Oh, And then Soth will do his knock prone, which works. Advantage. I've got a 19 on that roll that time, so that's a 31 total for 25. Come on, let's have a natural 20 before this ends. Rolled an 18 for 20. You can actually attack it 4 times, because you get the one after the... He's got the one that uses legendary action, and then 3 from the other. 24 hits for 24. And 18. 1 left. I think this ogre is doomed. Let's see what you think. The ogre can attack him. No. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never played Roll20 and had like this many non-natural 20s. Sorry, as in like no natural 20s at all. No crit hits. Will Soth finish him off with a natural 20? Oh, so the ogre got a natural 20, not being knocked prone. So Soth will attack him 4 times without advantage. Come on, let's get a natural 20. Attack 1. 19 to hit for 34. 27 to hit for 32. And finally, a natural 20 to finish him off. And that should be extra damage there. So for a total of... maths hurts my brain. 43? 25 plus 17, 35, 40, 42. 42 damage in that last hit, and that is one very, that is one very dead ogre. That was closer than I thought it'd be. I actually did a test run of this before doing it now for this recording. I did at least half of it, and I think Soth had killed like almost all of them by the time he lost like 20 HP. So I think the ogres hit a lot more early on than I was expecting. But yes, I considered doing another version of this where I give all the ogres their spear attacks, and then literally at the end of like their first turn, I've got to roll like about 20, up to 24 spear attacks. But given that he nearly got killed by this, I think he would definitely get killed by that. So can Soth defeat 24 ogres single-handedly? The answer is yes, he can. Oh, so there we go. Soth can kill 24 ogres and just about survive. Maybe I'll do another one of these in the future where I'll see how many Soth can take down before he's defeated. See, how many beyond 24 he can do. Did you enjoy this? This is very different to the content I usually put out. Probably makes sense that I'd do something this informal and weird and strange during Christmas, when most people will want that kind of less serious, maybe more lighthearted content anyway. If you did enjoy this and you would like to see more videos like this, I could do this where I recreate battles in 5th edition in Roll20. Why not, eh? But do let me know, because if I don't hear from people, or if this video doesn't get many views or likes, and if the people don't tell me that they enjoyed this, I'll just assume that no, this will probably be the only one of this nature that I do. But I like to try different things with this channel. You never know, this could do really well, and I'm doing more of these in the future as a result. So that's it for this one. Upcoming videos, I'm gonna do Ravenloft Mist Hunters soon. So I'm going to go through, I'm currently in the process of going through all 14 modules. I'm going to split it across 2 videos because I think 7 in one, 7 in another is better than 14 in one super long video, where I will not really review them, but I'll just explain, right, this one covers this domain, and here's some flavor you can borrow and things like that. For if you're running a Ravenloft campaign or just a domain, it might be helpful for you to know, okay, if you grab that one for $5 or however much it is, then it might help you in the game that you're running. This is the first time I've mentioned this publicly. I've also started a YouTube membership. Very similar. It's like YouTube's version of Patreon, where if you join at the lowest tier, there's just some emoji and some badges that show how long you've been a member for. But if you go the next tier up, there are members-only videos. They're more sort of like behind-the-scenes stuff. When I start getting a considerable number of members, I'll start doing polls saying, what domain of Dread should I cover next? Or what about this idea? And kind of, you'll have more direction in where this channel goes and what kind of videos I put out. Discounted DM's Guild resources. So I've put out 3 DM's Guild resources in the past. And if you become a member at that rate, I can give you a link that gives you a cheeky discount. Member first videos. So I'll try and put my videos out available a day early for members, and then they go out publicly a day later. Things like that, really. So if I've helped you out, you've enjoyed my videos, and I've helped you with the advice I give has helped you with your game, and you want to consider that, then it would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. And the more people who support me, the more videos I can make, the less I have to rely on my day job, and more and better quality videos I can make in the future. So I'd like to say win-win for everyone. And we'll leave it there. Thank you, Miss Wanderers.